like, is she coming today? I'm here. I'm here. I'm here. So let's just go ahead and jump right into it. We're not even going to do the little intros or any of that because I'm already late. All right. So as usual, you guys don't forget, go ahead and give a thumbs up. Listen, not just in the comments. I need you to go and thumbs up on the screen. I mean, on the live, so it'll push it out to more people. I do have updates for you. All right. So we do have some updates today, but if you'll give that thumbs up, it helps so much. If you're watching this on replay, you too can give a thumbs up. Okay, so go ahead and give a thumbs up. All right, they're starting to come in now. Hi, everyone. Hello, hello, hello. Hi, Dr. Sher. How are you? Oh my gosh, running, running. Again, I apologize for my tardiness, but I'm here. All right, let's just jump right into it. You guys, congratulations. Okay, everything that we have stated and told you is actually manifesting now. Okay. If you have declared who you are, if you have come back to the land, if your status corrected, if you have moved back to the space you were in when you were born, if you have done everything you needed to do to actually get those documents posted on either Global Bank or through your assembly or both. Okay, congratulations to you. Okay, because now you can see things are actually starting to manifest. They are beginning in their infantile state of literally where the Americans are moving back to the land in the position where we're supposed to be. Hey, Harrison, how are you? Okay, so what has happened is that those that have waited for months, those that have waited literally, I'm not kidding you, for months to receive their first deposit, they have received their deposits now. Okay. For those that are in position, I don't know of anyone who has not received their deposits, not unless you came on very late and you're just now getting started. But for those that were kind of like in the first group of those that have come in, maybe starting around January, they have been funded. Okay, so the deposits have begun. Now, a lot of people were saying this is not true. I know I was in one Facebook group and they was like, they've been waiting on those deposits for years. None of this is going to manifest. It's all hogwash. You guys, it's not hogwash. It is already on the St. Crown Exchange. I mean, this is at this point, I literally just put it in Chat GPT yesterday. And I know you can't believe everything in Chat GPT. I got it. But for a lot of information, Chat GPT is on it, and it'll kind of push you in the area that you will need to research. So Chat GPT just laid it all down step by step by step, just like Anna told us it was. And the thing about it is that go check it yourself. It is on the St. Crown Exchange. I'll put this in the comments so you can check it yourself. It's there. Okay. St. Crown Exchange. Let me see. Did it pop up? Yeah, it's there. It's on the St. Crown Exchange. So we already know that AFD equals to 1/10 or whatever an ounce of gold is for that day. So you know it's going to fluctuate, but that's not the only currency you need to check. You need to check all currencies. Okay, it's going to be 184 different currencies. So now what I wanted to talk to you guys about today is you need to make your plan. Do not wait until the last minute because when it's turned on, then you're going to be scurrying, trying to figure out what to do and how to utilize it. And you need to do that now. In your plan, you need to put in a security feature because when the world is open to that, there are a group of people that have received this funding. And the thing about it is that it's our monies that are coming back to us. So it's not like it's somebody giving us something. It was ours from the beginning. All right. So, and do understand these deposits will happen every month. Okay. Every month. So it's not like it's a one-shot deal. It's going to keep happening. All right. So you need to have an initial plan. Now, again, for those that have houses, okay, for those that have houses, for those that have car payments, for those that have credit card payments, blase. Remember, they do not want you to pay them off because it's going to cause hyperinflation. Hi, Harrison. It's going to cause hyperinflation. So we got to be careful because this is going to be a shock to the economic system, so to speak. If everybody's coming in and paying off this and paying off, because remember, everything works in cycles. Everything works in cycle. Even your body works in a cycle. Your mind works in a cycle. People don't understand that. And we'll talk about that part in a minute, as far as how this relates to your spirit, because the spiritual side of this is a whole nother territory that we have to kind of tap into. But make sure that you have a plan. Make sure you understand you're not to pay off everything. Just keep paying stuff on a monthly basis. Okay? Because remember, this is how it was supposed to be anyway. So we need you to get in the format of how it was supposed to be. It's not that we were supposed to be debt free. You already are debt free. Okay, you already are debt free. I had to have a discussion about that this morning because somebody was like, I'm just going to pay off all my debt. No, you don't want to pay. Your debts are already paid. So make sure you have an understanding of that. You're just going to, the money is already there for you just to keep paying what they were supposed to be paying anyway for you on a monthly basis. But you may need a car, right? Okay, it's some things you'll be able to just go out and pay for cash, like a car. You may need a house. You'll be able to get a house, possibly. And I'm waiting for the instructions to come on that because I know they have it on their dashboard for you to be able to get a house, for you to be able to take trips, for you to be able to get a car. I mean, all of these things are there. Okay, so we just got to figure out how they want to implement this. Is it using the AFD, or are you just going to be using your prosperity card, which is a whole nother round of credits? So all of this, we're waiting for the instructions to come down, which I'm understanding should be any minute now. Okay, any day now. Okay, because everything is already in place. Now let's just talk about the spiritual side of this, you guys. You have to still understand who you are. Okay, remember there are deadly sins, greed being one of them, lust being one of them, gluttony being one of them, all of these different areas. So you have to, once you get it, it's going to be another set of issues that's going to come about. There are going to be family members that are wanting to knock your door down. They're going to be people that you've told about this process months ago or years ago, and they didn't listen to you, or they mocked you, or they thought you were crazy, or they didn't want to do what they needed to do to get in place. You have to figure out now how you want to handle that, because again, the spiritual side of this is one, understanding who you are, understanding what your responsibility is, and understanding what gift are you going to now give back to society. What are you wanting to do? Because you're going to have an abundance now, right? You are going to be abundantly blessed, but there's responsibilities to come with that. You can't move in position of being taken advantage of, just like you've heard for people that win the lottery. And when they win the lottery, just a few years down the line, they've been taken advantage of. Some of them have lost their life. Some of them have used the monies in a way that has hurt them. Now, in this sense, we're not going to ever run out, okay? Because some of them spent to the point they just completely ran out. But it could put you in a position of being in harm's way. So you need to think about that. You don't want to be in a space where you're too flashy, or you're too you're too open with everybody, letting them know what you have, where you have it, and all of that, because it could be a safety issue for you. And you need to think about that plan. Okay. When we're starting to also talk about the spiritual sense, you need to understand how now you're going to take your gifts and you're going to give those gifts back to society. So, for example, for me, I'm really thinking about getting back into a space of educating children again, trying to start them at, where I used to have them before, in that middle grades area, and starting to train them in this sense, to get them to understand who they are with this education. Okay. Getting people to understand the colleges and all of that stuff was put in place to keep us dumbed down. You don't need any of that to be educated. None of it. None of it. Okay. Because all of it was a money grab. There are several places around the world, several cities, several countries where You don't pay for education. They pay for you. And so this is the kind of format we're trying to get back in place. Okay. This is the kind of format that we're trying to bring in place, whereas the children come and we can pay our staff and pay our staff very well to educate our children. So just like I'm thinking out the box now, that's what you should be doing too. If you're thinking about just receiving and not giving back, that's a problem. And that's where I'm telling you the spiritual side of this is going to wear you out. And it's very important that you think about that. Okay. Please think about boarding school for our children. All of the above. I've already had a school before. So I've already actually been down this road. And my school was very successful, and all of my students are doing very well now. All of them. Okay. Every last one of them are doing very, very well. So now that we have the knowledge of truly who we are, they can be educated in a way of understanding that we're not trying to go out and get all of these scholarships, even though, a lot of them did, but that's not the focus anymore because you will already have the money. We don't need to ask anybody to pay for you to go to school because education will already be there. All right. We can start a foundation to help certain family members. I don't want to just give and disempower anyone. I must use wisdom. Yes. And you can do all of that. And that's why I'm telling you guys to start thinking now. How would you want to implement this? Now you see what I'm saying? How this is your next set of problems. This is the next set, because trust me, when it's turned, and they are aware, they already know that when it's turned on, the mayhem that it's going to bring forth. I'm thinking about the car dealership, man. The mayhem that it's going to bring forth. All right, they already know, and they're planning, and they've been telling us this for months. Okay. And I will admit to you guys it was a couple times, I was sitting there talking to my mother. I'd be like, do you really think this is going to happen? Do you? Like, even though I've studied all this stuff, I've sat in all these meetings, I'm seeing it for myself. I'm seeing even on the St. Crown. I'm literally seeing this. I'm like, is this like really going to happen? It's still a part of even my own brain, and you just like in disbelief, but yes, it is. It is going to happen. Okay. All right. And so I wanted to talk to you about that. Now, for those that are around you and they're needing to get started, you guys, you need to tell them they need to get on the money. I'm trying to tell you, they need to get their stuff in order, for real. Okay. They have to get stuff in order. I am actually meeting with a church soon as well. Actually, 2 churches asked for me to do a Zoom with them to try to get their congregation to the point of understanding. And I know I've spoken to churches before, and I always do my disclaimer that they have to give me permission. They have to give me permission to tell them the truth, because I get in there and I start unnerving some people when they start hearing this truth. Okay, so I have to make sure they're prepared. But if you have groups that need to be enlightened, because right now I'm only doing it through the school just once a month, which is every 4th Friday at 6:30 p.m. Okay, but if you have groups, I will do that for groups. Okay, for churches, for women's groups, men's group, it doesn't matter. Okay, to give them an understanding of what's going on, because that work does not stop. That work does not stop. There are so many people that are coming and listening to these replays now. Okay. And if you are one that has listened to me every week, because right now people are binge watching and you have not gotten your status corrected, I am telling you right now, you need to get in order, because this is not going away. And it doesn't matter what anybody says. It doesn't matter if you don't believe. It doesn't even matter if I didn't believe it at one point. And I've been in and I still was in disbelief. It doesn't matter, because it's still moving forward. And it's still going to continue to move forward. Now, let's talk about what Global Bank is, 528. This was actually started by a man named Hunter. I forgot Hunter's last name. But anyway, he started the global initiative 528 many years ago. He wanted a group of people who really resonated off of the 528 vibration, which is supposed to be the vibration of love and healing. Okay. Literally right now, if you'll listen to the 528 vibration or the hurt sound, you'll begin to feel it within your body. Okay. This is something that you can literally go do and just find one on YouTube. What they have found is that what society did to us, they put the vibrational sound at 440 hertz, which moved us out of that vibration of being able to heal our own bodies, of being able to resonate off of love. And so when they brought it down, so even when you find orchestras or what have you, or, kids and bands or what have you, everybody will tune their instruments to 440. Okay. People don't even know that. So let me give you an example of what that is doing to us. Have you ever been driving and you had your radio on a certain station, and as you got out of that area where the tower, the radio tower was, or the radio waves, and it started you started hearing static in the radio, and you kept listening and kept listening and kept listening, and the static got progressively worse, but now and then you can still hear the songs on the radio, the radio station, and then it just got to a point it was nothing but static. That's what it's doing to our systems. Okay, what it is, we have become conditioned that we can't even hear or know what it's feeling like to be out of vibration, to be out of that space. Okay, and so on that radio station, when it's out of tune, you can hear it because your mind was conditioned to the radio waves that they were putting out when you were hearing the sounds correctly. But soon as you got out of that vibration, it went a little crazy. That's literally what we're living in. But you're used to it. Just like, for example, somebody has something where they was something on TikTok or one of those things, TikTok or Instagram, I don't know, one of them. And they was like, I want you to watch this. It's going to be a little disturbing. I was like, hope, nope. Because I'm very careful about what goes in my ear gate. Okay. Because I'm a visual learner. And when I see stuff, I take it's like I have a picture memory, a photographic memory, and I'll continue to see it over and over and over again. Okay, until I have to really work hard in getting it out of my mental space. So I got to be very careful on what I watch and what I look at. This is even down to movies. My daughter just was like, Mommy, you want to go see the movie at Centers? And I was like, now listen, I don't do well with all of this crazy, killing. And at that time, I didn't know what Centers was about. She was like, it's about the church scene. She didn't tell me about the darn vampires coming up. So I didn't know that part. She tricked me on that. And that part was a little too much, but it wasn't so bad where I couldn't stomach it. But that was about my limit that I could actually stomach. But in Centers, it's layers of more information. It's more information. So you got to look deep if you go out to watch that movie Center. So anyway, I digress. So let me go back. So the point I'm trying to make is you have to be careful. You have to be protective of all of this that was laid out to manipulate us. The sounds, the things that we look at, the things that we speak, how we've been conditioned with the things that we eat. All of this stuff that has been put forth in front of us was put out there to take us off of our track. Okay, was put out there to derail us. So what I'm telling you right now, the vibration of the earth is increasing. You should be able to see it. You should be able to feel it. You should be able to hear it. You should see people all around you now starting to wake up. Okay, you should see this when you're scrolling on social media. You should see people starting to wake up, starting to verbalize the new things that they have learned today. Okay, even yourself, when you think about who you were just a year ago and who you are today, you should be proud. If you're sitting right here and you're listening to me on this live, that means something has resonated in your spirit, that you know that you're continuing to grow and to learn. Okay, and to manifest. So when we talk about this spiritual sense, you got to now tap into who you really are. And I'm talking about mind over matter. Now let's talk about that space right there, that mind over matter. Have you ever been in a space where you are able to visualize something in your mind that you just knew something was going to happen? It wasn't here yet, but you could literally see it in your mind. You could see it, right? That is called mind over matter. Now, what is matter? Matter is actually something that you can touch, all right? I don't care what it is. It could be down to your phone touching. It could be my cup that I'm touching. It could be a car. It could be a house. Mind over matter is me being able to visualize that thing and my mind being able to make it manifest. This is the power I'm telling you that you need to tap into. Now, when I just said that, if you said in my mind, in your mind, well, that can't happen. Dr. Sherry, you went a little deep on that. You went a little far to the left. Then you're not ready. You're not ready. And this is what I'm telling you. You got to begin to tap into that spirit that was already given to us. Let me tell you something. When they began to demonize our middle finger, you know, when they used to say, when you do like this, you're giving somebody a bird, that was a lie. They demonized the middle finger. You know why? Because this is your ether. This is your ether finger. So when they had a cord that you could put into your computer and it will go to the, it was called an Ethernet cord, and it would go into your wall and you would automatically be able to get the internet and all of that. That's how the internet started. You had to actually plug in with the cord called the Ethernet. We already have our ether. So, and I'm going to tell you where you actually saw the ether being demonstrated and being utilized, and you didn't even understand where it was. How many of you guys saw the color purple? I'm talking about the one with Miss Celie in it. The very first version that was at the movies. Put it in chat. I just want to see how many of you all saw the color purple with Miss Celie and Oprah Winfrey. That one right there. Just give me thumbs up so I can just see who's in the house today. And you guys, don't forget, give the live a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to me, I need you to subscribe to me on all social media. If you're not following this YouTube, I need you to follow it. Okay. All right. So let me see. Harrison has seen. Okay. We got others in here to see. I got you. Okay. So do you all know the I call it the table scene, when they were all sitting at the table, right? And Miss Oprah, I forgot the part. Who did she play? I forgot whoever her name was. Whoever part Oprah played. Oprah had just gotten out of jail. Okay. And they were all sitting there. Oh, was it Mary Beth? No, that was not Mary Beth. What a part did Oprah play? Anyway, put it in chat. Anyway, they were all sitting at the table. The daddy was on one end. Mr. was on another end. Oprah, Miss Sophia. That's right. How can I forget that? Miss Sophia. That's right, Miss Sophia. Okay. So Miss Sophia had just gotten out of jail and they were having dinner, right? And it was at that point that Miss Celie told Mr. that she was going with Shug. Okay, remember that part? And he got up all in her face and told her she wasn't going to never be nothing. She wasn't going anywhere. And you remember she grabbed that butcher knife and she put it to his face and she pretty much let him know, oh, yes, I am. That ain't the part though. They actually went outside and they were loading up into Shug's car. And Shug kept saying, come on, Miss Celie, come on. He ain't worth it. Come on. And when she was on the steps, she did this move right here. And she said, until you do right by me, you ain't never going to be nothing until you do right. Well, what she was doing, she was actually putting the curse on him with that finger. Okay, this is not anything new, you guys. This stuff has been around. So just like she put that curse on him for all of the heartache and harm and beatings and having the children and all of the stuff that he had done to her from being a child and taking her sister from her, she put that curse back on him. So what I am telling you right now, I'm not telling you go around cursing people. I'm not telling you that, but I am telling you that there is power on being able to, it's called spiritual alchemy, when you take the negative energy that people have put towards you, and you can literally reverse it. And I've done that. I've literally taken the bad energy, the hurt, the pain that people have put upon me. I reversed it, and I used that same energy to make me thrust out even further. Okay. So what I'm telling you is that they knew that this finger right here was our ether finger. Okay. If you'll notice, this finger is the tallest finger. Okay. So when you begin to do things with this finger, and you begin to do it in the right way, okay, it brings you power, it brings you manifestation. Whereas as a man thinketh, so is he. Do you all think all of these things were put in the Bible? I don't care how they tried to rewrite it. When you begin to think in your right mind, when you begin to really understand who you are, and you begin to know, like Proverbs 4:23, when they talk about the heart, how does that one go? Guard your heart. Above all things, guard your heart, because it is the wellspring of life. You have to guard it. Okay. You have to guard your heart. You have to guard everything. But the scriptures are telling us what we need to do. Okay. And how we begin to live. Okay. That's why I'm trying to tell you guys now. We are moving forward to the point that everyone should be moving and excelling their minds to a Christ consciousness. That's where we are right now. If you are still caught up in all of these different religions where you're separating yourself out from others, that's not where you could be. And I don't care what your pastor say, he's a lie. Okay. Nobody should be in any type of situation where they are being divided. Now, let's be clear. I'm not saying you should not go and you should not gather. That's a difference right there. Even I gather with people in different groups and get just different situations, but it's the reason why you're doing it. If you're doing it for such separation, or if you're doing it to the point that you're thinking that one group is better than another group and this group is better, that is not where you should be. That is not where you should be. And we need to get a thorough understanding of that. That is so important. No division, straight empowerment for everybody, and understanding who we are. All right, you guys. Is everybody good? That's all I need to say today. I'm so happy you guys caught me here. I am so sorry I was late. Did we learn a lot today? Did we understand we need to go and get our plan now? We need to get in order. Okay, we don't need to get ready. You need to what? Be ready. Not get ready. You need to be ready. Be ready. All right. So when you're listening at it from that aspect, you know you have a lot of work to do. This is the next level of this. This is the next phase of this. And in addition to this phase now, you need to understand how to start implementing this. Okay. How this now, yes, you have no more money worries. You have no understanding your debt is in control now. All of that. But what's the next level? So now you have everything. What are you going to do? Just sleep away every day? Right? Is that what you're going to do? You're just going to stay at home and just, travel the world every day and, eat at good restaurants every day? No, I told you there has to be a balance. No one loves traveling more than me. No one loves eating at good restaurants more than me. But there's another side. Nobody sees the time where I am having consultations with people, when I'm helping people on the spot, that are being jammed up in court, when I'm assisting the teams with all the paperwork and all the stuff that we got to crank out for people. No one's seeing that part. So it has to always be a balance. Okay. Everything is a balance, and it's so important. Okay. I love you guys so much. If you're in the school, I'm going to let you know as soon as I hear stuff, as soon as I see stuff. Okay. You're going to be the first in line to get it. If you're not in our school, you need to join. Join us in our school. Okay. Where we are putting it down. All right. I love you all so much. Until next time. Bye-bye. Ooh, excuse me. Bye-bye.